Hey, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to take a look back on what happened to the original Powerpuff Girls series. This video was requested by Mac, who tagged me in a post on Twitter. So let's get started. Cue the intro.
Meanwhile, deep in the bowels of Townsville, a crime is afoot.
That takes care of that.
Oh, great. Thank you, Townsville, for letting us have all your money.
Not so fast, crooks!
The Powerpuff Girls.
Why do they always want to do it the hard way?
The Powerpuff Girls was created by Craig McCracken. McCracken has been drawing since the early age of 3. He states that he was obsessed with cartoons even then, drawing cartoon characters from cartoon shows like Underdog and superhero characters like Batman and Superman.
Since I was a little kid, I became obsessed with cartoons and just cartoon images, shows like Underdog and all the superhero stuff like Superman and Batman. I started drawing when I was about 3 years old, but it just wasn't what I could see in my head at that point, because I was 3, you know. I could barely talk.
After graduating high school from Whittier, California, McCracken attended Cal Arts, where he honed his animation skills. This is where he met Genndy Tartakovsky, the creator of Dexter's Lab and Samurai Jack, and Rob Renzetti, the creator of My Life as a Teenage Robot.
I think my first impression was of seeing him, and he was like this crazy long-haired sad sack wearing a Jughead hat. But then after seeing his artwork and whatever, being blown away by how talented he was, and there were a lot of talented people there, but Craig was definitely one of the most talented.
During his first year at Cal Arts, he created a series of short cartoons featuring a character named No Net Joe, which were picked up by Spike and Mike's Sick and Twisted Festival of Animation.
No Net Joe!
After the creation of No Net Joe, McCracken wanted to make a more action-based superhero-themed animation film. Originally, this film was going to be focused around the earlier design McCracken made called El Fuego, who was a Mexican-themed wrestler. This was until McCracken's mom called him and told him that his brother's birthday was coming up, and she suggested that McCracken should make him a birthday card.
And I wanted to do some sort of a superhero thing, and I was inspired by this thing that Joe Horn made for MTV called Stevie Washington, the Angry Youth, and I really liked how quick and kind of almost spontaneous his little films were. And it was around June, and my mom said, you know, hey, your brother's birthday's coming up, why don't you do a card for him? So I just started doodling these little things, and for some reason I was thinking about Keen paintings, and I actually ended up drawing this little tiny drawing. Wow, that's really cool. So I was kind of got obsessed with that, and I ended up giving this to my brother for his birthday instead of a card. And originally I was going to cast El Fuego, the Mexican wrestler, but as soon as I drew these girls, I went, forget about the Mexican wrestler guy. What if I put these 3 little girls in instead of that guy, and I've got these 3 cute little Sanrio-looking characters beating up giant monsters. They'll seem much stronger and much more heroic in contrast because they look so innocent and harmless.
The new short film was called Whoop Ass Stew, featuring Blossom, Bubbles, and
Bud.
Yeah, Buttercup was originally called Bud. McCracken felt like the name felt appropriate since Buttercup was more of a tomboy than her other sisters. But he later changed her name to what we have now because the name Bud didn't roll off the tongue.
Because I thought, well, that's appropriate. She's kind of a tomboy, more tomboy than the other 2. And I was like, but it just feels, it doesn't roll off the tongue nice. Blossom, Bubbles, and Bud. It just kind of hangs there. So I was like racking my brain for a while. And a friend of mine, Miles Thompson, actually came up with the name Buttercup. And I was like, oh, that works, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup.
McCracken's teacher encouraged him to show his film to Linda Saminsky, who was on the Nickelodeon's development team at the time. But of course, it was turned down because, you know, it's Nick. And if you're familiar with Nick, you know they have a habit of turning down shows that later became successful. Just to give you an idea of Nick's track record, they turned down Adventure Time, you know, the show that revived Cartoon Network after the whole CN Real mess almost killed the network. And they also turned down Ed, Edd and Eddy.
Even I am not that dumb, Double D.
In 1993, McCracken was hired by Hanna-Barbera Cartoons to be an art director on the Turner Broadcasting series Two Stupid Dogs, where he would also continue to work with Gandy. While McCracken was at Hanna-Barbera, studio president Fred Seibert began a new project, an animation series of shorts that ran 7 minutes each. The project was named What a Cartoon. This project motivated McCracken to further develop his Whoop-Ass Girls creation by renaming it the Powerpuff Girls in the process. His new pilot, The Powerpuff Girls and Meat Fuzzy Lumpkins, premiered on February 1995. What a Cartoon had a great impact on the cartoons that were produced in later years. Some other shows that came out of the series include Dexter's Laboratory, Cow and Chicken, Johnny Bravo, Curse the Cowardly Dog, and Sheep in the Big City. The Powerpuff Girls was one of the cartoons that received a great response from the viewers. Cartoon Network decided to make it a full-fledged series after the positive feedback.
My ability to talk with fish is of no help, Wonder Woman.
Nothing can save you now, super fools. What? The Powerpuff Girls?
Ugh, why do people always get that wrong? It's Powerpuff! No D!
How informative. Well, there is a D in destroy, as in destroy them. Destroy them!
Thanks, Powerpuff Girls.
No prob. We're big fans of old school.
You girls are developing into quite the superheroes.
Someday we'll be as developed as you!
The Powerpuff Girls series first aired in November in 1998. The series had a total of 6 seasons, with a total of 76 episodes. The Powerpuff Girls were made by a person named Professor Utonium, who wanted to create the perfect little girls by adding sugar, spice, and everything nice. Apparently these specific ingredients can create the perfect little girls. Didn't think it worked like that, but hey, you do you, Professor.
Yeah, he made us in his laboratory by accident.
Well, what can I say?
Don't worry, Professor. I was an accident too.
The professor accidentally added chemical X to the formula that resulted in the creation of 3 adorable looking girls with superpowers, named Blossom, who's the level-headed leader, voiced by Kathy Cavadini, Buttercup, the hot-headed tomboy, voiced by Elizabeth Daly, and the innocent Bubbles, voiced by Tara Strong.
You're fishy about that major man. Gosh, did you guys know that Professor could fly?
The plot of the episode usually shows the girls fighting with one of the many villains in the series and saving their city of Townsville. The series also shown the girls dealing with normal issues that young children face, such as sibling rivalries, personal hygiene, and going to school. The Powerpuff Girls had a great reoccurring cast of villain characters like the evil genius Mojo Jojo, the short-tempered hillbilly Fuzzy Lumpkins, the Gang Green Gang, and the most evilest person in the series, him. This show was a mega hit and gained a large fan base throughout its original run. The series had a movie in theaters, video games for the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and PS2. Powerpuff Girls was even nominated for 6 Emmy Awards and 9 Annie Awards. Oh, and before I forget, does anybody else remember the Powerpuff Girls milk commercial, or am I the only one? Bring back banana milk.
Yummy banana milk!
Someone's monkeyed with the nutrient-rich banana milk, and it's all gone!
I, Mojo Jojo, have monkeyed with the milk, and I will rule Townsville with the milk I have monkeyed with. You cannot beat a monkey on the monkey bars, and because I am a monkey, you will not beat me.
I'll take that monkey boy!
Got the milk.
When I was looking for an answer of what caused the original Powerpuff Girls to end, I kept running into a lot of cold leads. I even seen the post of someone blaming the Powerpuff Girls movie for the end of the series. To give context, people assume the movie was to blame because it didn't really make that much profit, but that doesn't really make much sense since the movie premiered in 2002 and the original Powerpuff Girls didn't end until 2005. But believe it or not, I actually found the real answer, and it's pretty simple. In a tweet posted by Craig McCracken, he explained he was offered to do a 7th season of Powerpuff Girls, but he felt like it was time to move on to a different project. So yeah, the Powerpuff Girls was technically never cancelled. McCracken just wanted to do something else. Later in 2008, Craig McCracken returned to create a 10th anniversary special. This half-hour special was called Powerpuff Girls Dance Pants. Later in 2016, Cartoon Network decided to create another series of the Powerpuff Girls, but let's just pretend that doesn't exist.
I'm more off-putting.
No, I'm more off-putting.
I'm more unattractive to put in a lead role.
Well, I'm a bigger box office drag.
Kids, you're both just awful.
At the time of this recording, Craig McCracken is working at Netflix working on his new series Kid Cosmic, but at the time of me recording this, the series hasn't came out yet. Kathy Calvadini, the voice of Blossom, is lending her voice as Linda McQueen in the up-and-coming Car series. Tara Strong, the voice of Bubbles, is pretty much everywhere. And Elizabeth Daly, the voice of Buttercup, is reprising her role as Tommy Pickles in the new Rugrats series.